G'day, my name is Alan Madden, Gadigal Elder. For my first song, nah, only kidding. As we've all welcomed the countries, it's always an honour and a pleasure for me to welcome one and all, just to give you a little bit of an insight of where you are and who we are. As we've all welcomed the countries first and foremost, I'd like to acknowledge our Aboriginal elders, all elders, past and present, and pay my respects. And to all our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander brothers and sisters, from whatever Aboriginal or island nation you may have come from, welcome to Gadigal. And to all our non-Indigenous brothers and sisters, a very warm and sincere welcome to you to Gadigal. No matter where you've come from, whether it be across the seas, across the state, or across town, once again, a very warm and sincere welcome to you to Gadigal. And as I've mentioned many times before, was, is, and always will be Aboriginal land. Only three things shorter than that: coming, taxation, and going. It's an honour and pleasure to be here today to welcome one and all to Gadigal. Gadigal is one of 29 clans of the Eora Nation. The Eora Nation is bounded by nature's own, the Hawkesbury River to the north, the Pean to the west, and Georges River to the south. And in between those three mighty rivers is the Eora Nation. And in that nation, there are 29 clans. And the clan's land we're on today is Gadigal. On behalf of members of the Metropolitan Local Aboriginal Land Council and of the Gadigal mob, once again, a very warm and sincere welcome to you to Gadigal. And as you travel across these traditional lands and waters, may the spirits of our ancestors guide, look over you, and keep you safe. So once again, on behalf of Land Council and of the Gadigal mob, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Uncle Alan, for that very generous welcome to country. I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land from which I am joining today's event from, the Gadigal people. I pay my respects to elders past and present and extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people joining us today. Thank you for joining us to mark World Hepatitis Day 2021. For the second year in a row, the COVID pandemic overshadows this important opportunity to give visibility to and raise awareness of viral hepatitis. If we have learned anything over the last 18 months or so, it is to not be deterred. When we face disruption, we find new ways to reach, connect, and support our communities. We have to. Hepatitis can't wait. Even with the challenges we're in the midst of, the Greater Sydney lockdown and restrictions in some regional parts of New South Wales, no one needs to wait, nor should they put off testing for Hep B or Hep C. You can commence your journey to improved health and well-being with care, management and treatment of your Hep B or treatment and cure of your Hep C in the comfort and privacy of your own home, thanks to recent changes to Medicare that make telehealth more accessible. Rising to the COVID challenge and to promote the message that HEP can't wait, Hepatitis New South Wales is running a social media initiative consisting of 10 different advertisements, video and display across Facebook, Instagram, YouTube and Google. These advertisements target everyone above the age of 18 years, all across New South Wales. Each advertisement, be it about Hep B, Hep C or liver health, direct people to specific pages on the Hepatitis New South Wales website that provide information and resources promoting testing and treatment. Over the course of this launch event, you will get a tease of these adverts. Afterwards, I'd encourage you to check out our YouTube channel to see the full suite of video content. Included in the initiative are 2 videos featuring 3 of our amazing and inspiring lived experience speakers, sharing their own very personal stories and perspectives on what life with and managed or cured of hepatitis means to them. These stories are a powerful reminder that while we focus on the disease, at the heart of all that we do and all that we want to achieve are real people. People with hopes, dreams, families, friends, and a desire to get the most out of life. One of those people is Hee Suk, and her story of Hep B is a stark reminder that for all the hard work that has been done to date, there is much more work to be done. While there has been great success in exceeding global, national and state targets for immunisation against Hep B, other targets around diagnosis, treatment and mortality reduction are unlikely to be achieved by 2030, let alone the ambitious New South Wales target year of 2028.
제가 호주 온 지가 34년이 됐거든요. 그래서 다른 나라에 와서 적응하느냐고 몸을 돌볼 새가 없이 일을 좀 심하게 일을 하다가 감기처럼 아프기 시작했어요. 근데 감기약을 계속 먹어도 낫지 않고, 그래서 피 검사를 했더니 그때 B형 간염이라는 것을 알게 됐어요. 근데 B형 간염이 무엇인지 전혀 알 수 없었기 때문에 선생님도 치료를 해야 된다고 강조하지 않으셨고, 또 그래서 저도 그렇게 중요한지 모르고 그냥 치료하지 않고 시간이 흘렀습니다. 그리고 세월이 한 10년이 지나서 제가 늦게 42에 쌍둥이를 출산했어요. 그리고 또 일을 계속 하다 보니까 몸이 더 피곤했는지 그때는 굉장히 많이 아파가지고 일어나지도 못하고 토하고 약을 먹어도 낫지 않고, 그래서 GP 선생님한테 갔을 때 피검사를 해야 된다 그래서 피검사를 해보니까 간 수치가 상당히 높았어요. 그때 GP 선생님께서 계속 치료를 하지 않으면 간경화로 해서 간암으로 발전할 수 있어서 치료를 꼭 해야 된다고 강조하시고, 저를 스페셜리스트 선생님 이은하 박사님한테 저를 보내주셔서 그때부터 치료를 하기 시작했습니다. 아이를 낳았을 때 그 남편이 아이들은 엄마가 B형 간염이기 때문에 백신 주사를 맞췄다고 하더라고요. 그래서 아이들은 백신 주사를 맞았습니다. 울트라사운드를 해야 되고 피검사를 하고 가거든요. 근데 갈 때마다 약을 복용을 엔타콥이라는 것을 하나씩 매일 아침에 정확한 시간에 먹어야 되기 때문에 먹다 보니까 그 바이러스가 활동을 하지 않는다는 말씀을 하시면서, 지금은 활동을 하지 않지만 약을 먹고 그러기 때문에 활동을 안 하지만 치료를 하지 않으면 다시 활동을 하고 간암 걸릴 수 있습니다 라고 말씀하셨는데도 불구하고 제가 갈 때마다 똑같은 결과가 나오니까 안 가도 되지 않을까 해서 제가 3년 동안 안 갔는데 그때 유방암에 걸렸습니다. 근데 유방암에 걸리고 나니까 박사님이 간암 걸린다는 소리가 제 귓등을 때려서 다시 박사님을 찾아가서 다시 치료를 시작했습니다. 유방암은 수술해서 수술하고 깨끗해졌고, 그래도 지금까지 6개월에 한 번씩 체크를 하고 있습니다. 저희 제부가 B형 간염인데 치료를 하지 않고 있다가 소홀히 하다가 59세에 간암에 걸려서 죽었어요. 그래서 저는 B형 간염이 얼마나 무서운지를 알아서 꼭 모니터링을 해야 된다고 생각합니다. 그래도 제가 그 암을 경험했고 또 이 B형 간염은 모니터링을 소홀히 하면 간암에 걸릴 수 있다고 말씀을 항상 하시기 때문에 항상 그 이은하 박사님을 만나러 오면서 기다릴 때는 조금 마음에 부담감이 있죠. 또 무슨 일이 있지 않을까, 깨끗해야 될 텐데 라는 부담감이 있습니다. 제가 처음에 박사님하고 관리를 모니터링을 하고 약을 먹을 때는 제가 그 약을 사서 먹었는데 언제부터인지 전혀 정확하게는 알지 못하지만 정부에서 지금 그 약을 무료로 제공해 주고 있습니다. 네, 저는 지금 내고 있지만 새로 시작하는 사람들은 그 스페셜 선생님한테 올 때마다 돈을 페이하는 것이 좀 부담되지 않을까 생각합니다. 이 B형 간염을 소홀히 여기면 안 된다는 것을 저는 너무 뼈저리게 느낍니다. B형 간염이신 분들은 꼭 모니터링을 해서 관리를 해야 된다고 생각합니다.
Yeah, so it's been quite an extraordinary journey. So she's been on treatment for more than 20 years and doing extraordinarily well. Once you get them started on treatment, then they do pretty well. And then when they start to feel better or their liver tests are better, they can become a little bit complacent. And so we have a problem with ongoing compliance. Yeah, I think there are lots of reasons for monitoring. One, they may think that there are side effects with treatment, that's one. And they think that if they came to treatment, the doctor will force them to take medications, which is a bit unfortunate. Or they forget. And then if they forget, they feel embarrassed to come back. Or they don't want to come back because they don't like you, they want to find another doctor, they don't trust you. And I think there's always this concern about cost. Maybe they can't afford it. So hopefully, we can explain to our patients that cost should never be an issue in terms of having ongoing access to treatment, whether they come and if their financial circumstances are difficult, whether they have free service or whether they go to a public clinic. There are lots and lots of ways. So cost should never really be an issue. I think, first of all, in communities where hepatitis B is common, I think it's so important that people know whether they have Hep B or not and understand what the disease is. So for those who don't have hepatitis B, it's really important for them to be aware that this is not a disease to be embarrassed about. There should be no stigma against it, and that it is just another infection that people should be very open and be knowledgeable about. And for those who have hepatitis B, I think it's so important for them to have literacy about the disease and try and ask as many questions as possible, understand where they're at. I think often patients will basically trust their doctor almost too much, in the sense that they go, oh, the doctor will know best. And they, if they don't tell me something, I don't need to know. But I ask my patients, please learn about your disease. Please know your disease. Not just know your condition, but know your disease, because hepatitis B is so complex that it changes all the time. It's really important how it may affect your life and why you need to be monitored, why you might need treatment, and why things can change, and what are some relevant key times in your life where you need to be really thinking about it actively. I always support health literacy, and the degree to which you are engaged with your own health will really improve your outcomes.
As we reflect on Heesuk's experience and Professor Alice Lee's insights, we need to consider and respond in new, more flexible and targeted ways, informed and led by the communities affected by Hep B, that empower them to access treatment and help us all achieve elimination. The Hep C story is, of course, very different to Hep B. It was 5 years ago that direct-acting antivirals, or DAAs, were made accessible to all via Medicare and the Pharmaceutical Benefits Scheme. This meant a cure was available within a generation of discovery of the disease. This is a remarkable feat that has changed the lives of tens of thousands of people living with Hep C in New South Wales. So much of that is thanks to the commitment, passion, and proactive collaborative action of government, local health districts, healthcare providers, sector organisations, researchers, and the viral hepatitis communities themselves. And as a result, New South Wales is tracking well towards achieving elimination of Hep C by 2028. Our social media initiative aims to support the ongoing push to elimination of Hep C by extending further into the broader community to promote testing and treatment. It is a simple and straightforward message: get tested, get cured. And it is a message that is best delivered by the people who know it best.
The drums rolled off in my forehead, guns went off in my chest, remember carrying.
Really loved the Triffers, got along to their gigs back in the 1980s whenever I could. The 1980s was a great time for alternative music in Australia, but it was also a time when many people acquired hepatitis C. So that's decades ago. You might have acquired hepatitis C, sort of put it to the side, but now's the time to absolutely take the opportunity to come forward, get assessed, get onto treatment if you have active infection. 2 or 3 months, tablets, virtually no side effects, 95% chance for cure is a real good equation.
My name is Will, and in my 50s I got a second chance at life. I have been living with hepatitis C for 25 years at that stage. That's a virus that was not only debilitating, but eventually it would have taken my life. I was fortunate enough at that time to hear about a new treatment that was available that claimed to completely eradicate all traces of the virus from my body. And so I signed up for it as quickly as I could. I feel like I'm re-engaging in life once again after quite a long while, and it feels good. It's like I've been given a second chance at life, and I'm really grateful to have this opportunity to once again participate and feel good about life and feel good about myself. It's been absolutely a fantastic change in my life since I've got rid of that Hep C.
Hello, my name is Susan. I lived with Hep C for decades before I was treated with the new treatments a few years ago. Since having the new treatments, my whole life has changed. I've got so much more energy. While I was living with Hep C, I was very lethargic. I was investigated for chronic fatigue syndrome, which is when I received my Hep C diagnosis. I had trouble getting through the day. I struggled with my workload, with raising my son on my own. And since being treated, my energy levels have increased so much. My doctor was hesitant at first. She wanted to refer me to the local hospital for treatment, but I convinced her that she had the power to prescribe the treatment herself, that it was no longer necessary to go through the local hospital. One of the best things that's happened since I've been cured of Hep C is that I've been able to spend more quality time with my son, who's now grown up, and I have reconnected with a number of friends that I'd lost touch with because I just didn't have the energy to socialise. Now that I no longer watch my liver function tests rise and rise every checkup, I feel more optimistic about the future. I no longer feel like a person waiting to die.
Our Hepatitis New South Wales social media initiative complements the New South Wales Hep Cured Health Promotion Campaign, which we developed in partnership with the Ministry of Health and NUA, that is currently running across New South Wales. The campaign creative was the result of in-depth engagement of, research with, message testing by people who inject drugs, who are the primary audience for the campaign. Delivered through health services, needle and syringe programs, opioid substitution, treatment clinics and other sites, it includes a peer component to promote testing, treatment and cure. The participation of peers allows for the sharing of the personal experience, and therefore they are able to address any concerns or answer any questions that service users may have. If you haven't seen the Hep Cured campaign, I encourage you to visit the website hepc.org.au, which has the messaging, creative art, and links to resources, including our service directories. Of course, the common factor in Hep B and Hep C is the liver. Liver health is vital to our well-being. We need to look after it. So it's only appropriate that our final video in the suite focuses on this important organ.
If you have Hep B or Hep C, or you are drinking too much, your liver could be damaged. If your liver is damaged, it can stop working properly, and this can make you sick. Speak to your nurse, doctor or clinic about getting your liver checked. This is called a liver assessment or a liver check. A liver check is usually done with blood tests and a fibroscan. A fibroscan is like an ultrasound. It doesn't hurt. These tests will show your doctor or nurse how healthy your liver is. They will also tell the doctor or nurse how much damage there is. You might have had Hep B or C for years and don't feel sick. This doesn't mean that your liver is healthy. If you have Hep C, think about the new Hep C cures. They are quicker and cure nearly everyone. Speak to your doctor or nurse about your options. If you have Hep B, have a liver check every 6 months. The checks might say that you should start Hep B treatment to help stop liver damage. Your liver might be unhealthy for other reasons, like drinking too much alcohol or being overweight. Talk to your doctor about how to stop more liver damage. To talk about making healthy changes for your liver, call the Hepatitis INFOLINE on 1-800-803-990 or contact our online chat at hep.org.au.
Well, that wraps up our World Hepatitis Day 2021 event. Something different this year, something different last year. Thanks, COVID. Thank you for stopping by. Thanks for joining us. Before I go, I want to give a not so subtle nudge and a quick reminder that if you see any of our ads or videos on Facebook, Insta, Google or YouTube, make sure you like, share or comment so that we can extend the message reach, support efforts to increase testing and treatment, as well as contribute to achieving elimination of viral hepatitis by 2028. I also just want to take this opportunity to acknowledge the support of the Department of Communities and Justice through the Social Sector Transformation Fund, which made our social media initiative possible. Finally, the arrival of COVID has created a new category of media superstars in the unlikely form of epidemiologists. So with that in mind, it's only appropriate to leave the last word of this event to New South Wales' own hepatitis epidemiology superstar, Professor Greg Dorr.
It's World Hepatitis Day 2021. It's been a pretty tough last 18 months or so dealing with COVID in terms of public health responses. But we really want to take the opportunity to reignite the Hep C elimination push. And I think we've learnt a lot, even in the last sort of 18 months, about how important it is to have evidence-based public health strategies in place. And we know with Hep C what's required. We just need to get more assessment out there broadly to everyone to have the opportunity to be assessed to then to be linked to treatment and cure. And we do want to eliminate Hep C. We can eliminate Hep C, and we have an amazing opportunity ahead of us.